Hi, I'm Janine Labounty, teacher leader at White Mountains Regional High School. What kind of questions do you think that we need to ask for this? We do a lot of work with open-ended questions.
A lot of districts do a curriculum director, PD for teachers all the time. Obviously the teacher leader position here at the regional is a little bit different. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how this position got started?
So the beginning of it was, the position was created after the math and reading specialists at the K-8 schools. So each of those buildings have someone who specializes in math and reading instruction, helps teachers with their teaching practices. About the 2014-15 school year, we started to look into having that position here, but it was an extra block, so I only taught 5 classes instead of 6 and had a block where I was doing the teacher leader work. Wasn't called teacher leader there, it was just an extra bit of time. From there, I shared the position, so I taught fewer classes, and Patsy Ainsworth taught fewer classes, and we shared that role. Again, helping the principal with work, and organizing our PD. So what it has turned into now is a lot of professional development, putting that on for our teachers, and some work with our testing. When it first was a position, we were tied directly to the assistant superintendent or the director of curriculum assessment and instruction. It had since been a little less of that, but now it seems to be going back that way. That will be more connected to what the district initiatives are.
So have you worked with Janine this year?
Yeah, I worked with Janine Labounty multiple times this year. I'm a really big thinker, and so when I think of projects, I go really huge, and so she knows that about me, and then she's able to scaffold it down from not only me, but then scaffolding for my students, because I will start here, and she'll help siphon it. But on the flip side, if I come in with a very narrow idea, she'll help me blow it up.
Working with Janine as teacher leader has been really important to my co-teacher Kelsey and I in Humanities 12. We have a group of seniors who are getting ready to go off into the world, and so we've been working with them for the past month or so, and will be for the rest of the spring, on exploring the meaning of life in various ways. So Kelsey and I really leaned on Janine and met with her multiple times in the planning process to think about what structures we needed to support students, how we could give them choice, and what they needed to be able to do to make those choices.
How has Ms. Labounty helped you with regards to brainstorming and figuring out ideas for your classes?
I will just email her or just find her in person and set up a time to just brainstorm some, if I'm having a problem with a class. For example, virtual learning is super hard for everybody. And there are some days when, I just can't get kids to engage. So we'll have a quick brainstorming session where she provides some resources, especially for virtual learning, that might give kids different ways to engage with the course other than directly speaking up, turning on their cameras, things like that. So sometimes students aren't super comfortable with that. So we've brainstormed different ways to solve that problem. Other times I've just brainstormed with her about creative ways to do in-person classes and getting kids safely up and about and moving around the classroom while still following COVID protocols. And just unique ways of making collaborations, getting kids to think differently, getting myself to think differently rather than getting stuck in the same routines. So those brainstorming sessions have been super helpful.
Working with a teacher leader is different than collaborating with just a co-teacher or others in your department, because Janine especially is so well versed and so experienced in education that she's able to bring in outside research and outside perspectives and follow up and make connections for us in ways that we as classroom teachers might not be able to or might not have the time to. And so when we meet with Janine, she always brings other perspectives to the table and other experiences and pushes us, challenges us, provides those instances of cognitive dissonance whether it's from the student perspective or from another perspective, that helps us to really create authentic learning experiences for students.
What's your favorite part about being the teacher leader?
My favorite part is meeting with teachers and helping them to push their thinking with kids, knowing that we're going forward with this more student-centered approach to learning, helping teachers let go of their traditional practices and give kids the chance to learn what they want, how they want, keeping their own needs in mind, the teacher's needs in mind, but also what will make kids be more engaged.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like the key to it is as we make this shift in really teaching philosophy for the building overall. It's one thing to tell a teacher, hey, make this shift, but it's another thing to be able to, more than twice a year, an evaluation from the principal, but to have you work with them weekly basis, daily basis, however much they reach out.
I experienced the teacher leader position. Teacher leader position is like a sergeant in the military, right? They're like part of the enlisted corps. Like they're that connection between like the rank and file and officers. And so I think a good teacher leader, right, is able to help the team to operationalize what the officers are trying to vision, right? They're the bridge between the soldiers in the foxhole and lieutenants and colonels who are designing policy. Janine does it very well, right? A good sergeant has the respect of the troops, but can effectively translate what administration is wanting to do to the rank and file so that we can implement it, operationalize it, advance those initiatives. So I think Janine's an exceptional sergeant in that sense. She's knowledgeable. She's been in the trenches, but she also speaks administration. She understands education on multiple levels, and I think does a really nice job of representing us and helping us to, like I said, to advance initiatives. And so she's wonderful to work with.
Her role is invaluable.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
yeah,
the role,
cool.
I mean, teachers need to communicate with other teachers. And so sometimes it might be better to speak with someone who's not teaching directly because they have access to a lot of different resources that we might not have access to. And they have a bigger global brain, and so they're kind of able to help differentiate for students. She's able to kind of pop in and out and be of assistance in any numerous of ways and a variety of different ways. The only other thing I would say about Janine is that she has literally taught preschool to 12th grade. So she has a wealth of knowledge, not just in how to deal with any level of student, but in their passions, what they're interested in, because she has had that much world experience in the world of teaching.
What's been the biggest obstacle you think, COVID or un-COVID related this year with being the teacher leader?
Well, for this year, it's definitely been COVID because of our change in collaborative practice, just because the schedule didn't line up. So it's harder to get more teachers to collaborate. I really like to be in on the planning, so then when I do a walkthrough, I know this is what we talked about, but are we doing this work with the kids? But I'm not involved in that. I have been heavily involved in our Humanities 10 and our Humanities 12 planning. I've done some work with our MS1 planning and a lot of work with STEAM.
Yeah. What's the one thing that you would change about the position?
Isn't so much a change as add a structure. I would like teachers to meet with me weekly in the next school year. I know the K-8 teachers have to meet with their specialists for one planned period a week, and so I would like our teachers to meet with me for half a planned period a week, individually or teams if they have a shared time off, and bring back some more collaborative time for the whole group. I've seen that really benefit us.